when you're walking around your house or your apartment, or you're walking in the shopping center, you're driving your car, or you're out in nature, whatever you're doing, you know that there's thoughts arising. Okay, and there's thoughts that are randomly arising. Okay, there's sometimes things that you're thinking about, like with a purpose, like you're thinking maybe about a relationship that you once had, a relationship that you're currently in, or you're reflecting on something, and you directing the energy and flow of your thoughts in a way. You putting them together, you contemplating, and you in the driver's seat, right? But not all the time. Most of the time, you're not. Okay, and so we know there's just random thoughts are popping up. While you're cleaning your house, while you're driving, I don't know, just about in the shopping center, while even you're having a conversation with somebody. There's just random thoughts popping up, and some of them are not really have any significance. Some of them can be a bit dark, some of them are a bit negative, some of them a bit childish, some of them a bit irrational, unreasonable. You just about name it. I mean, there's a whole different trend to thoughts. A lot of them are repetitive. Like I find for myself, a lot of them are repetitive. Like certain worries that kind of keep coming back, or like I don't know, maybe about a loved one or something like that. Like different thoughts, or just neuroses coming up as well, right? They're coming up as well. Fears coming up, all different types of fears in a way. And what I'm saying is that if you're not keeping a keen eye on these thoughts, they sort of come to life. Like what I'm saying is that for myself, I try and be very vigilant when I can be, and like it's just to be vigilant of seeing, okay, a thought process sort of taking form, starting to appear, starting to happen, starting to take life. And I feel like when I look at it, it either will sort of run away or disappear or dissolve or something like that, or it's weird, hey? Like I want to see the inertia of it, I want to see where it's going sometimes, and by looking at it, sometimes I'll let it play itself out. Like what were you thinking? See, thought is a very strange thing. I mean, even being alive is a very strange thing. The human existence, experience, in the magic is a very strange thing. So what I'm saying is that, let's say like right now, I was putting on my socks and my shoes, I'm ready to go out, I have to go to a meeting of some sort, and I'm thinking to myself, what was I thinking? Thinking something like, I think I was, the clothes that I was wearing them yesterday, and the thought came to my mind was like, oh, well, people are going to, because I'm seeing the same people that I saw yesterday today, and I say, oh, people are going to comment on the fact that you were wearing the same clothes yesterday. And then I felt insecure about it. But I caught myself saying, people are going to be looking at you. And I mean, I really anticipated the thought, because you were wearing the same clothes that you were wearing yesterday. And they may be going to think that you haven't showered or you haven't brushed your teeth or something. This is childish stuff. It's from my childhood, because, I know for myself, I like to rewear my clothes. If they're not dirty, then what's the point in washing them, If they were dirty, wash them. But if you're wearing the same clothes 2 days in a row, what's the bloody difference? It's for practical purposes. But so for myself, I see an insecurity come in. And so again, my brain is obviously wired in a way to sort of, without me even realizing, just to, let's say, while I'm on my day, for an insecurity pop up, for a neuroses to pop up, or something or other, or like I don't know. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's cautionary. Sometimes it's like, well, maybe you do smell and you have to have a shower. Maybe you did have a bit of a run yesterday, you went for a walk, whatever, you do smell, you have a shower. It's you don't want to, and be unpleasant around people or something. You see, so there's good thought, obviously, and there's, within reason, and then there's unreasonable things. Like, I'm wearing the same clothes today, screw it, I had a little bit of avocado mark on my jeans over here, but you know what, I just scratched it off and now you can't see anything, and it's perfectly fine. You see, my point is that on so many times there's just thoughts arising and happening, and some of them are useful, some of them is when we're in contemplation and we're directing, we're thinking of it. Let's say I'm thinking about this meeting that I'm going to have with my brother now, and I'm thinking about what to say, and I'm thinking about who he is, and I'm thinking about what not to say and what is the correct thing to say. And then I also know maybe I'll only have 5 minutes of his time, so I've got to get to the point of what I'm saying. I also want to, I'm having to ask him for a favor, and I'm a bit nervous about it, whether he'll say yes or no, whatever it is, because I kind of need his help on something. So I'm thinking about all of that, I'm strategizing, which is great thought, but then again, while I'm thinking that, another sort of insecurity thought might pop in and say, well, he might look at you as if you are I don't know, have high expectations. You know, a fear will come in, a fearful thought, and fear, you know, and I'll be like, and then if I allow that thought to play, I'll be like, well, maybe you shouldn't even ask him for this favor at all, because you asked him for a favor a few months ago, and although I do him favors, whatever, which is, I mean, it's reasonable for me to ask him for this favor. It's not, but you know, my mind, my insecurities will come up and say, who are you to ask him for this favor? Don't you know that he's got his hands tied with a lot of things and he just, you know, doesn't have the space or the time? And like, how selfish are you? Again, probably childhood wounds coming up. Their insecurities, the way my brain has been wired. Maybe I had a relationship with my brother where he, you know, when I was younger, he was like, I don't want anything to do with you. Don't ask me for things. You're the younger brother. You must do everything that I tell you to do, but don't ask me for things or whatever it is. Maybe we had that kind of relationship, and so for myself, my brain is wired in that way. Oh, folks, so our brains are wired, eh? They're wired in a certain way of survival a lot of the time, a certain way of game playing a lot of the time. A lot of the thoughts are coming from this place as well, and probably from many other places as well. So, again, what I wanted to say is to be vigilant of the thought, and also to also appreciate the fact that there's so much to be said here, but also to appreciate the fact that it's not, just by monitoring your thoughts alone are not going to maybe stop them come up, or not going to maybe rewire your brain. You see, this is where I've seen like is a bit of a shortcut that people take. It's like, just monitor your thoughts, just observe them, and which is one thing, and you know, pay attention to them. So, and that's the way for enlightenment or consciousness and awareness. And I don't necessarily agree, but this is also for another conversation, because I believe, like, you know, if your body, for example, if your body's not happy, right? I'm saying if you're unhealthy, then you're going to have unhealthy thoughts. More unhealthy thoughts are necessary. You know, you're going to feel more shitty about yourself than just your general mindset if you, like, say, severely overweight, severely addicted, or whatever it is, severely lazy. Like, if your body's not happy, you're not going to feel good about yourself. You're not going to have positive thoughts reflecting from you. If you've got a whole lot of childhood wounds and traumas that you haven't dealt with, you know, the emotional body, the pain body's going to be speaking all the time, and you've got to get in touch with that. You've got to do the healing, you've got to do the reflecting, you've got to do the processing of emotions. You know, it's not just, you know, the thoughts are just a symptom a lot of the time. A lot of the time they're just a symptom, right? They're just a ripple effect from something that happened, I don't know, in your childhood, or happened, whatever it is, in the subconscious, you know, something that's there. And instead of just like on the surface of things, like monitoring thoughts, like a traffic officer, you know, like, you know, scanning the cars on the highway to see, you know, one of those speed tests, to see, you know, monitoring the whole time, or somebody who's in like one of these factories, you know, where you see these people and they're observing all the cookies that are coming past, and they're wanting to see if a cookie is maybe cracked or whatever it is, and then they're monitoring it, and you know, and that's your job the whole day, is that you bloody well monitoring your thoughts, you know, on this conveyor belt, just boom, 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 and it's exhausting and tiring. And so what I'm saying is that it's necessary to do that, obviously, but it's also necessary to get back into the healing of things. And that's where there's a lot of BS teachings out there that just say everything is thought. So no, everything is a symptom. I'm saying thought is a symptom of something else, sorry. But like, for example, they say thought is everything. So what about feeling? So no, feeling comes after thought. Bullshit. Rubbish. It's like thought is the you know, I'm sorry, I just get very passionate about this because there's so many people peddling this BS. You know, this idea that there's thought and then there's emotion. I'll give you a perfect example where that's not true. Music, okay? You're not thinking about the music, you're feeling the music, and it's making you feel a certain type of way. It's transcendental. It's not thought first. If you pay attention and you see this, it's not thought first. You're not thinking about how the song's making me feel. This song brings up emotion in you, brings up experience in you without thought. You can just be sitting there and absolutely no thought. Just listen, bloody well. Just listen to the birds chirping. You're not thinking about it. It's not a thought. You're participating. You're here in the now, and you're feeling something. It's not thought. Not everything is of the bloody mind. Not everything is of the mind. Interpreted of the mind, yes, but where's it being transmitted from? You know? Where's it being transmitted from? There's a deeper place that's being transmitted. It's not just thought alone. or whatever it is. And I get passionate about it, folks, because I hear so much of just, if you look at your thoughts alone, you will reach a place of enlightenment and you will be free without thought. Because without thought, you're free. And thought, something like that. I don't know. I could play this Osho video that I was listening to the other day, where he just goes on about the reason for enlightenment is just to view your thoughts. And that's it, because it's your thoughts that are putting you into an illusion, into hell or something. Speaking like a French person with that French accent, It's like, and that's it, just monitor your thoughts. And if you have positive thoughts, you have a positive life. My goodness me. What a shortcut, what a spiritual bypass, if you ask me. There's much more to be to say on all of this, folks. But again, be wary of the people who just say it's all thought. Be wary, because it's not. There's so many, it's multi-dimensional, it's multi-layered. Man, there are so many levels to it, it's unbelievable. So it's not just thought, but again, important to pay attention to thought, your thinking process, your habitual pattern thought process, your fearful thought process, your unreasonable thought process, your unrealistic or childish or thought processes or whatever it is. And also, what is your intuition? I don't know how much time I've got left. I don't want to go on for so long about this, really. No, only 12 minutes or so. Well, my point being here is that, like, again, if you obviously have a noisy head and, you're not going to hear the intuition, really, if you want to put it that way. What is the intuition? Intuition's a lot of things, but like I'll tell you, yesterday, someone banged my car. They reversed into my car. It wasn't in my car. It was a minor scratch or bang or whatever it is. But like before I parked the car, I was thinking to myself, I was a bit wary, and I felt a feeling. I said, maybe you shouldn't park here, man, because like it's very close. I mean, the parking was allocated place for me to park. I wasn't incorrect, but the car reversing didn't have much space. And I'm very wary of people nowadays being so unconscious. Like, I try not to park too close to somebody because I know they're just going to open their door and bang, and smash my door and then not even leave a note that I'm sorry, whatever it is. So I'm very wary of the unconsciousness of people, hey, and how severe it is today. And this guy in particular who banged my car, he was probably in his 60s, his mid-60s or something like that, but he just... Which is not old, I'm saying, but like his mind condition is that he shouldn't be driving. And what was he? He's a driver. He gave me his card, his executive driver or something like that. Anyways, there was something that told me, like, don't park here because, it's not great. And then a part of me said, stop being so neurotic, Stop being that, like this way that you're so conscious and you're alert and you're hyper vigilant of people, whatever it is. Just park your car, nothing's going to happen. And so can you see, which one do I go with? Which one do you go with in your intuition speaking to you? Because the voice of reason, or with something neuroses, or something will come in and distract you from that. So even though you got the message, you were distracted in that very moment by what your intuition was telling you. Because sometimes the intuition is not strong. Sometimes it's very strong. Like when I walked past that casino table, the roulette table, and it said to me number 22, and I took out whatever money I had in my pocket and I put it on number 22, number black 22, and boom, it landed on that number, which was just, I don't know how you explain that. I mean, if you know roulette, to guess one number by walking past the table and hitting it right on, there's just no understanding in it. Anyway, intuition can speak sometimes very, very loudly, but sometimes it can be, again, the habitual mind or the carnal mind or the pattern mind or the ego mind or whatever, something else will come in and mess it up and twist it and turn it around, and you won't get the clear message or something or other, So it's really a practice of really being open, and again, ending off on this, but knowing the voice of the intuition and knowing the voice of sort of the habitual mind or the pain body or something like that, which is just neuroses. It's like, I have a bad feeling about getting on this aeroplane. Hey, I'm not going to do it. Like, I don't know, I just have something's going to go wrong in the air. That's a neuroses, if you want to call it. That's not your intuition speaking, but sometimes it can be intuition speaking. Maybe intuition will say, well, don't leave now for your trip, for your long distance trip in your car, whatever your travels. Leave in an hour's time. Or something, you just get a feeling and it's strong, and okay, I'll leave in an hour's time, and then you realize there was an accident and you would have been stuck in traffic for a long time or whatever it is, something or other There's messages coming through to us all the time, but again, you've got to be wary of what is neuroses, what is your fears, what is your own projections. I don't know if I've made sense at all with this, folks, but I think maybe I have. Alright, we'll end off on that for now. We'll chat soon. Take care.